2016 and we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary, and our goal is to be self-sustaining project after 3 years. So we're really focusing on giving opportunities to small businesses that are in our commissary kitchen and in our business development program. That means doing like a little farmer's market. We're calling it El Mercadito. Almost 2 years ago, back in 2014, we knew we wanted to make the Mercado a place for arts and culture and Latino heritage. So we started thinking about the role of murals in Latin America and how we could expand that to the physical space at the Mercado. And so we put out an RFP and we got, I think, over 10 applicants.
I think a couple months later, I got a call from one of the Mercado people from Hacienda, and they said they liked my proposal, and I was like shocked, surprised, but I was very, very excited. I was very happy. Around the same time, they were talking to Rachel, who has more experience doing murals. She's had quite a few done here in Portland.
So we actually asked them if they would be willing to work together to create the mural, an arranged marriage, we call it.
So I figured, yeah, why not? I think it should be fun. I like her work. I think I can learn some from her.
When I got the call that they had chosen me as one of the artists on the project, I was super excited, and then I found out that they wanted me to collaborate with Pablo Solares, which I was even more excited about.
Actually getting the funding to start the project, it was very long. It took us probably like a year, a little bit more than a year.
We attended a vendors meeting and kind of pitched our first sketch to get some feedback, and then Hacienda also passed out a survey to the vendors.
We really wanted to get their feedback just because they are truly part of the Mercado. I did a couple murals for OSU, Oregon State University, and one of them is a similar idea to the one for the Portland Mercado, but over there is like 3 dancers that represent kind of like 3 cultures. One of the dancers is from Panama, another one from Mexico, and the third one is from Colombia. And that mural is in the back, which is next to a fire pit. So they have parties out there, and I figure like having dancers is kind of like an ideal design for a place like that. And then on the front of the building, there is a portrait of Cesar Chavez. What I wanted to do with that, which is a lot similar to my old paintings, my smaller ones, I wanted to picture Cesar Chavez a little younger, because I wanted to make it look somewhat close in age to the people that are going to university. But I wanted to people at OSU see him and say, okay, so this guy looks like me, and he became the Cesar Chavez that is known throughout the US and probably abroad too.
Murals have a way of, I think, just stopping people in their tracks and getting them to think about something, whatever it is that's being visually represented, where anyone can approach it and have their own, reaction to it. As a muralist, I think of myself as a storyteller, and it's being able to tell this beautiful story on a grand scale. And that's what I really love about it. portray
historical figures from Latin American times interacting with modern Portlanders under the backdrop of Pioneer Square. And that was the first proposal that we sent to RACC. They rejected it.
The original sketch, Pablo and I, invested a lot of time in this design. This is how we felt we could illustrate just bridging the, Portland culture to Latin American culture and the impact that this has on our city. With the vendors in the marketplace and people dancing in the square, kids playing soccer. We have our city in the background, and we've kind of explored just the history of mercados, and I think simplifying the design and just representing a few different aspects of Latin American culture accomplishes, what we were trying to do in the original design, but with a lot less detail. And for the second story, some of that detail would be lost.
So RACC is a publicly funded nonprofit, and so we offer grants to artists and arts organizations, operating support grants to the larger arts organizations. We have brought over 70 murals into the city through our program. And I think what the challenge is to listen and then edit the ideas down to a cohesive composition. We had about an hour-long conversation with them. Given the size of the wall they were working on and the amount of detail in that original mural, we urged the artists to rethink. And really, it was such a hard spot because of the battens that they had to work in, and they just got closer and closer as you moved across the wall. That's why the mural got simpler and simpler.
I've been totally inspired each and every one of these pieces I've worked on, and in different ways. With the Cuban mural, I was listening to Celia Cruz and Benny Moré, and I really get into the work. And for this one, Pablo and I have had the privilege of having Edna Velasquez in the studio with us, playing guitar and singing and whistling, and all of these things that happen behind the scenes definitely add to what you're going to see in the end.
My wife and I, we first moved here, I noticed that there was not a lot of Latino people. So I was excited about the mural and meeting with people at the Mercado and Hacienda. And people here, I have seen that they really cherish that. They cherish being from a different place. They cherish the culture, and I wanted to be part of that community. I've come to the studio maybe 3-4 times, and Rachel has been here for about the same time, and we are probably more than half done with the mural. But just because I think both of us were very productive, and we can work together, but at the same time focus on our own aspects on the mural.
The parachute cloth allows us to be working in a studio.
You get a huge roll of, 200 yards or whatnot. Then you prime it just as if it's a canvas.
Because the wall of our studio is not as tall as the Mercado wall, working in sort of halves and then trying to make sure that'll make sense, and not seeing the whole piece as one, to make sure that the figures and the flowers and the overall composition works with the negative space. And we also have to work over those battens, so we'll be cutting strips essentially on each side of the battens and over. We will start from the top left corner and kind of work our way down, and there's a really strong acrylic gel that goes over the cloth once it's up on the wall.
And you use a squeegee, and that's the way you place it on the wall. A squeegee and just glue it. Yeah, and when it dries, it gets really hard, and it kind of absorbs the fabric into the wall. This type of technique for murals, they've been using them a lot in Philadelphia and kind of the Northeast. like and then the remaining. Yeah, it's gonna take a little longer than what I was hoping, but
Oh yeah. Were you hoping to finish today?
I was hoping to be pretty much done with this, and then like this happened. That we missed one of those measurements.
Oh.
So if you look at the wall, there's like two areas. One is 3 inches, the other one is 3 inches, and the next one is 2.5.
Yeah.
So we only cut 3 inches. So we did 3 inches and 2 inches.
Entonces vamos a, está bien esto, pero voy a tener que despejar esa área. Entonces, pero lo que dijo Jamie, so
You saying that we can't have this blocked off now when we have like all this work to do and we're paying for the lift today. So it's like,
Oh, you're paying for the lift.
yeah, we're renting it for only 2 days and we have to be like right here, and he's saying he doesn't want the entrance blocked. Do you want to...
No, so I guess we have to leave an entrance open. So we're gonna wait until the bar opens for to start working on it again. Yeah, I'm working on this mural. It's at the Mercado. It's really nice. It's almost done. I've been saying that for, I guess, a year and a half. So I'm happy that it's done finally, but at the same time, I'm the type of person who always wants to do something. He gets bored. So in a way, that kind of like filled that hole in my head. I think I'm gonna miss it a little. I might I might say that right now, and then tomorrow and the next day I'll be super happy.
It's sort of bittersweet. I agree with that. Just being able to walk away and feeling good about it, like you gave it your all. And like one of my professors from college once said, like, you have to be able to kill your darlings.
Say adios, Mercado.
Adios, Mercado. Adios, Hacienda.
No, hasta luego. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
Sí.
Adios is too finished. Too done.
We really had to work with them on becoming a team. We had to work across cultural barriers and even sometimes linguistic barriers and different ideas. So that process made a beautiful piece of art.
Está muy bonito, es algo que representa nuestra raza, ¿verdad? Especialmente lo cultural, para que nuestros hijos hispanos, pues a través de este mural, ¿verdad? Sepan de nuestros orígenes, de dónde venimos. Y pues yo estoy contenta de ser parte de este proyecto y pues espero, ¿verdad?, que todas las personas que están aquí alrededor de nosotros vengan y conozcan este lugar, porque pues encuentran muchas comidas típicas de diferentes países.
Dos cosas desde mi punto de vista. Uno, la alegría de los personajes, que es así es la gente de América. Siempre está sonriente. Y la otra cuestión que muestra es el baile. El baile es parte de la cultura latinoamericana. En todas partes hay baile. Conocemos la salsa, el merengue, la bachata, el danzón, la cumbia. Son puros bailes latinos y es parte de la cultura latinoamericana, no solo de México, sino de Centroamérica y de Sudamérica.
So, I mean, it seems like there's a whole unified color scheme to the Mercado, which is the bright, you know, the colors that you see here in the carts, which are reflected in the mural. And I actually, when I lived in Mexico, I did study Mexican folk dancing. So it reminds me of that. I still have the shoes, the special shoes, which are sort of like flamenco shoes, because it was a form of zapatear. You know, we have tap dancing with the metal things, flamenco shoes, and then these folkloric shoes have nails in the bottom of the sole. You know, so the heads of the nails make this little area, and on the heel too, to make the sound. I don't know if she's wearing those shoes. And the woman in the middle with the flowers with the more serious face, and for some reason I'm attracted to her the most. I don't know why.
One of them is looking at us and being expressive and communicative, and the other one is more humble. And you know, so it shows how we can be extroverted and how we can be so deep and in our self-reflection also. Interaction happens through the transparency of communication, and that's very true to our countries.
Estamos apreciando un mural en Portland Mercado. Eso significa mucho para mí. Significa una conexión estelar. Vemos una mujer que trae las frutas a la comunidad, digamos, mundial, porque ahora es un mundo diverso. Los colores que ven ustedes son los colores del mundo. En la guitarra es color café. El café es muy importante. Es la tierra, es digamos, el maíz, es el café. El sombrero es muy importante para nosotros los latinos, tú sabes. Pero el sombrero es traído de otras culturas también, porque los nativos no lo usaban. Así que eso es algo para ellos también.
I think it's a thing about Mexicans that all of them care about a lot. They care a lot about their mothers, right? So in a way, she reminds me of my mom. My mom, she's from a very small town, and her name is Rosa, and she likes flowers. So I didn't even realize it until I was actually working on her face and her hair and everything, and it just reminded me of her. So the mural was gonna be a cook, but then I thought maybe not a cook, maybe who doesn't like a pretty girl with pretty flowers, right? So I decided to put flowers in it.